Welcome, YouTube friends and family, to today and probably tomorrow's edition of the Wellness Homesteader. I'm once again up in my sewing room, but as the cobbler's children have no shoes, if you've ever heard that old saying, sometimes the seamstress has no homemade products for herself. So I purchased this product, and I'll be sure to link it. Aren't you proud of me? I remembered to link last time. Off of Amazon. It has a 4-star review. Let me share that first of all. It says that it's quilting fabric. When you read the fine print, it's 100% polyester, and I will tell you it feels quite a bit like a nylon. It does ravel some, but I've actually had homespun that raveled worse. So it comes in a package like this with the little zippy top. I reuse these guys, so bonus because they're good for storing like unrolled jelly rolls, things like that. So lots of notions and things will fit in here if you want to group light things together. But it will not cure your hiccups. So each square, and this is not my favorite one. I'm not a big skull creepy person, but these are fun. Each square is 10 inches by 10 inches. And as you see, it's cut very nicely, and there's not a lot of raveling, even with handling. So I've been pleased with that. So what I decided to do is I wanted to make myself like a twin size bed throw, because I have a big, long-legged, tall boy, and I don't like it when my boy's feet hang out. So when he comes home, and he's my freeze baby. I like him to be warm. So I usually have lots of throws. So I did also purchase this orange backing, and I'll show you in a minute what I've pieced together so that you can see kind of how it's going to look. I had a hard time deciding on backing. I probably would have chosen black, except that I have a cat that sheds on everything. He walks by, I'm picking cat hair out of my mouth and eyes and ears and hair and clothes. So I like this. So I am using, guys, I've been impressed with this. Did I leave it up here? I've been using, oh, here we go. I left it out so I could show you. This 100% cotton thread. It comes, and this is from Hobby Lobby, so you can get it in poly or cotton. I prefer cotton for everything I possibly can use, and it's Sewology, and they have their notions on sale a lot. This spool, which is a pretty good size spool, is $4. Guys, I'm almost empty from all of the sewing I've done for you all on the first spool of it. But I think I'll have enough to quilt. And I also have this color it's a rust color for orders, and it looks good with almost all the fabrics. So no worries if you still want to order, guys. I'm going to get some things done, get some decorating done, do some crafts. This is one of my crafts. And then I am going to come up with some other things based on suggestions. I know bowl cozies, there were a lot of questions about what is it and why do I need one. Other uses for the canning type mats, if I leave out the heat resistant stuff, the metallic stuff, and put 2 layers of quilt batting, it makes a great dish draining mat, if you want to call it that, and you could have it really cute and, you know, kind of seasonal for different seasons, blah blah. Okay, let's go back to this. So you may be wondering, okay, you get 32 in a package, and it took me a little bit of figuring because I wanted to make it a certain size that would fit the quilt batting. I never like cutting quilt batting. It never comes out right. It always wants to separate. So I ordered 2 packages of this, so I had 64. So I'm doing 7 wide, which is 70 inches wide, 8 inches depth, which would be 7 times 8 is 56. So I'll have a few left over. You could do throw pillows. You could do, I don't like the polyester for much kitchen stuff. It doesn't feel like it would be at all absorbent. So I have this fabric, and this is a mystery amount. Well, ever how much I needed, that's how much I got. Oh, goodness. And then I purchased the Warm and Natural pre-packaged. And if you notice here, it's 72 by 90. So this is considered a twin. So if I do 7 across, that would be 70 inches, but I'm taking up some via seam allowance. And then 8 rows would be 80 down, and this is 90 down, and I'm taking out seam allowances. So this is plenty big. I'm going to do this quilting a little different. I'm going to do it more traditionally. So I'll show you in just a minute what I've pieced together. So I'm going to piece the top, lay it out over my quilt batting, not trim the quilt batting, and probably not trim the back, unless it's just too unruly. And then I'll baste it like this. Woohoo. Okay, I'm getting silly. Guys, it's just, I am so happy to not have to go to the hospital every day for radiation and chemo, and now I'm gonna cry. Yeah. And well, let me finish this, and then I've got a couple prayer requests. So guys, this is so cute. It feels like a nylon, but it isn't. So how cute. I'm hoping you can see, because I can't see you all. So I've got 3 rows done, and each one is different in one way or the other. And so, you know, I've got, this must be the skull section. This, lots of kitty stuff. I like the kitty stuff. The bats, lots of purple, and I'm not usually a purple person, so this would go with any decor. Super easy to work with. I am pinning one by one as I go across a row, and then when I finish a row, I'm sewing row to row so I can be sure I'm lining up the seams, as you see. So this project is kind of time consuming, but what I do know, oh Lord, human alert, who's here this early? I guess it's 7:30. Sometimes my neighbor stops over. I have an open door policy, guys, so I never know who's gonna come. Also, sometimes something blows in front of the camera, and sometimes it's the kitty. Prayer request, y'all. And I don't think she'll mind. I won't share her last name. Someone I've become very good friends with through YouTube. Sweetest Christian lady you'd ever meet. Is having a surgery tomorrow. And, you know, as a mommy and a person who has to maintain their household, it can be a very challenging recovery to do everything on your own. So if you would just keep her name is April, in your thoughts and prayers, I would really appreciate it. I'm so sorry to be wiping my nose. So let me go blow it. I'm going to keep working on this. This video isn't going to be finishing it. I wanted to show you what I'm working on, and then I want to talk a little bit about what is coming up and get your feedback. I have not forgotten about the Bath and Body things, but guys, if I don't get this done pretty soon, because I've been spending all my time working on orders, which I am so grateful for, and I thank you so much for, it'll be next year before I get it done. Other thing, guys, I think I have enough of this black. It's bias tape. So once I get everything quilted, then you sew the bias tape. So there's orange thread everywhere. It's folded like this. And so you put it over the edge, and that finishes your edge. I have that color, and I have this real pretty, and well, you can kind of tell, it's like a buttercream color. It's not a white, because these cabinets are white. And and I have a lot more of this. So I may use this, and then the orange thread will kind of tie everything together. So let me go blow my nose. I'll be back shortly. Y'all, do you get tired of me blowing my nose? I want to thank all of you. Also, it's going to be kind of a chatty video. I've been kind of right on the edge of tears. My sister had some dental surgery day before yesterday. She's having a rough recovery. We Coddle Girls did not get good teeth. And I get thinking about her, and if you keep her in your prayers too, because this is going to be a big healing process as well. This morning, oh Lord. Sorry guys, my chair, there's a story about this chair. Gets hooked on the throw rug. So this morning, y'all, I was opening a window because it's only going to be in the 70s. It looks like rain, but it's not going to rain. And I found this, and I'm like, well, it says photos do not bend. This was back under my second husband's name, but what is actually in here is a really good picture of my mommy and my daddy. Now, I know a lot of you say I look like my mom. My mom had eyelid surgery, so she had the Asian eyes, but she got those taken care of because it was impeding her vision. I mean, even if it wasn't, no crime in that. My daddy, look how happy he was. I actually, guys, and his eyes were squinty, but I actually look a lot more like my dad. But I thought this picture was really neat. Now, my mom didn't like it because she didn't like her eyes. So, I thought my mom had very pretty eyes. I don't know if you can tell. Well, I'll hold it up here. Can y'all see what's different? Not really. My mom had a brown eye and a blue eye. How about that? Crazy little mixed up kid. Actually, what it was a big freckle through her iris. So you could see the blue at the edges, but when you looked at her, you're like, did you know your eyes are two different colors? You wouldn't believe the number of people that ask that. And I'm thinking, really, do you think she's never looked in the mirror? So, yeah, that was a little treat to find. I need so bad, guys, to clean this room out again. And it wouldn't take me that long because it's not as bad as it was last time. So, let me talk a little bit about fall harvest Halloween decor. I know Halloween is not people's favorite thing. It might happen to be one of my favorites. And I am going to show you some of my Halloween decorations. But I have thoroughly enjoyed the little bit of decorating that I did with the window clings when I got up this morning. And guys, in the morning I use oil lamps and candles because it just creates a nice atmosphere to wake up to. I was like, it is so cozy in here with the decals and everything on the windows, or the window clings. So I will be showing you some more things that I'm going to do, even though I spent quite a bit of money on, and y'all saw it, my fall and Halloween craft items, $70 at the Dollar Tree. I'm not buying anything else, y'all. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do and try to give you ideas for ways you might repurpose or reuse things you have on hand. So even though the decals were new, I can use them for years to come. Even though this is new to me this year, I will be using it, I hope, for the rest of my lifetime. And I hope my son will want to. And I'm always making him something. I did finish his crocheted blanket. And guys, it will fit a queen size bed. It weighs 11 pounds. Like, I can barely fold it. My arms get like quivery. And if you're wondering what happened here, y'all, I fell down. And I haven't fallen in a long time. I was running the vacuum cleaner and somehow I lost my balance and crashed into the table. And I knew when I did it, I was like, that's gonna leave a mark. I've also got a bruise on my hand, and I did something right here. So thank goodness I'm tough, because if I wasn't tough, I'd be in bad shape. But yeah, this one really hurt. I knew as soon as I did it, I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be a big black ugly mark. So coming up, I do want to do some fall harvest decorating, and I will be focusing mostly on that with a little Halloween sprinkled in. I do want to make some Bath and Body products. I'm going to get started on that. But guys, today it's cool. I have this window open. Y'all, I haven't had that window open. This was originally my son's bedroom, and then the other one was the sewing room, and anyway, it all got switched around. He used that kind of as his little living room with his friends and stuff. Pardon me, couch, computer, all that stuff. But anyway, I'm going to get back to sewing here. I will bring you back and share a few final thoughts with you. Actually, I'm going to pose a question for you regarding soap, because I want to make some soap and I want to get your opinion on it. So I needed to get this video started today. Tomorrow, guys, I have my twice a year financial advisor appointment, and I'm not saying that to sound like I'm rich, but you know, he keeps me abreast of ways I might change up my retirement investments, my IRA, also on any Medicare changes. They're big in health insurance. This is the same company that does my taxes. So, you know, it's worth my time to go. And I could not go in the spring because of my cancer and being newly diagnosed and just overwhelmed as it was. I didn't want to talk about finances. So, anywho, guys, let me get busy sewing here. I'll bring you back after a while and show you some choices that we have for the soap that I'm going to make, and see what your preference might be. So I hope you'll stay tuned. Well, welcome back to the second day of video. And wow, when I use the ring light, my silver really shows. But that's okay, guys, because pretty soon it's all gonna be silver, I'm thinking. So today we're gonna finish up our video by making that applesauce bread I promised you. So I got this recipe from Paula Deen online. Why did I choose this recipe? Well, biggest reason is it's not real high in sugar. The whole recipe only has a 1/4 cup, unless I'm missing something or she's missing something. And I have this stevia brown sugar, which is reduced carbohydrates, and it's not really cup for cup. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the 1/4 cup so it will be a little sweeter. So let me tip you down. We're not going to use a mixer. You could. I don't think it's necessary. We're going to start out with Paula Deen, 8 tablespoons of butter. And guys, it's so warm in my house. This is completely soft. Can you see that? Yeah, so no worries there. And then to that, we're going to add our 1/4 cup of the Splenda brown sugar. So this is, it says if the recipe calls for a 1/4 cup, then you use 2 tablespoons. So it's about a 50% less ratio. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm afraid it's not going to be sweet enough. And I don't want to waste food because it's not sweet enough, so let's just use the 1/4 cup of Splenda brown sugar. And you can use the other brown sugar that is Truvia. It has erythritol in it, and I'm just going to cream these together. I choose not to use it because it can raise your blood sugar. I also do not like the taste of it. I'd rather do without than to have it. It makes your mouth feel cold. If you know, you know. It definitely changes the sensation. And I'm thinking, if a chemical can change your perceived temperature of something, I'm not sure it's really good for me. So, who knows? And that is just my oven, which I have preheated to 350. So next we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla. And y'all, I know my island is bare. I haven't put this stuff on it yet. Now we need a cup of applesauce. And y'all may remember, if you've been on my channel a long time, I'm not going to use that. Hold tight. In case you all wonder why I always smell everything, that is a tight seal. Looks completely different. This is maple applesauce, doesn't contain table sugar, and I need 1 cup of this. And additionally, I'm going to use the other cup, y'all, when I make some more protein waffles. Or the other portion, let me say. However much is left. So here's our cup of applesauce. And this is, I know it looks very dark, but it's not as sweet as you might think. It has a lot of spices in it. So we'll stick this in the fridge. And next, let's stir this in. Trying to do all the wet ingredients, get those well incorporated, and we'll add the dry last. So what's the weather like in your area? I'm excited because first of next week we're gonna have highs in the 60s, lows in the 40s. And guys, I hate to complain all the time, but I am so ready for it to be a little bit cooler. We've had an unusually warm summer. Okay, to this, we are going to add our ½ teaspoon of salt. And I'm using red mineral salt. We'll use a teaspoon each of baking powder and baking soda. So very easy recipe. Probably took me longer to get out and put away the ingredients than it will take to mix it up. That looks like a tablespoon, not a teaspoon. No, it's a teaspoon. Boy, you know you haven't cooked in a while when you can't tell a tablespoon from a teaspoon. I always have these linked in the description box along with my measuring cups. These are the Morganhon stainless steel. And guys, I will have these for the rest of my life. I got my son a set and he will have his for the rest of his life. So they're really high quality and not that expensive for what you're getting. Okay. Get this mixed in real good so our bread rises evenly. Then we're gonna do our cinnamon and our allspice. It's a teaspoon each. I'm gonna do my teaspoon generous, a little on the recipe, because I really love cinnamon, and I actually really like allspice. It's got that clove taste to it. And this is from Walmart, it's organic. I think the only ingredient is allspice. Let's see. Ground allspice uses only wholesome ingredients. Well, I don't know. Might be a mixture. It sure smells like cloves. Okay, so a teaspoon of that. Doesn't this sound yummy?
So this is going to put me in the mind of fall with all these warm, delicious spices that happen to be my favorite. I actually had oatmeal for breakfast this morning, so it's getting to be that time of the year, and I swear by eating a lot of oats for my cholesterol. It works for me. All right, so we've got our butter, our vanilla, our allspice, our cinnamon, our salt, our baking soda, our baking powder, our brown sugar, applesauce. So next we need 2 eggs. Look how big of an egg my girlie laid yesterday. I still have 2 very broody hens. Miss Violet is taken to pecking me, and I keep telling her we don't peck in this dojo, but she ignores me. She's still pecking away. I don't know why. Well, she doesn't want me to take the eggs she steals. I do know why, but okay. So let's get these beautiful homegrown eggs, I guess you would say, mixed in. Then we're going to add our 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You know, I like recipes that you don't have to pull out every single electric item that you own. You know, I'm one of those old people that grew up without a microwave, so, you know, I'm kind of old-fashioned, and we didn't have a dishwasher either. All right, so that's 1/2, 1, 1.5, and this will be 2. And if you wonder why I use 1/2 cup measures, that's all that will fit in my little airtight containers. All right, got a little on the counter. Then our last ingredient is going to be our cup of raisins, and then optionally, it says 1/2 cup of walnuts. Y'all, I'm cleaning through my pantry, and I had maybe a 1/4 cup of walnuts, but I smelled them and they were rancid. So, you know, it's great to have a long-term pantry, but I over-purchased certain items, and I'm kind of glad that I have the break. Wow, this feels really dry. Okay, the butter, 2 eggs. Yeah, this is, see if it says anything on the back. No, it doesn't. I guess we get used to using electric mixers, which are more efficient in their stirring than my stirring. Okay. It says to grease and flour the pan. I am just going to spray it with nonstick cooking spray. It will be fine. And then 1 cup of raisins. So this isn't a cup. Oh, it's almost. I have a new package. You know, I always hate when I'm baking or I get a hankering for something and I don't have what I need. So that's why I've kept my pantry so well stocked. But there is such a thing as overstocking, so that you end up, y'all, with more than you're going to consume before it spoils. Now, I didn't break the bank on that jar of applesauce or even on the walnuts, but still, it's just a good reminder that buying in bulk may be cheaper, but you got to make sure you're going to use it. Or you have a way to store it so that it's good for a lot longer, like freeze dry, etc. Okay, just just about got it. I'll put a little bit more of those. I like a lot of raisins, since we're not going to do walnuts. All right. So into the lock and lock it goes. Let's give this one a stir. Y'all, I made a big mess, haven't I? My Aunt Reba, God rest her soul, she made the best applesauce raisin cake. Now, she made it with walnuts, and she kept hers refrigerated, and it was done in like a bundt pan or an angel food cake pan type, you know, with the hole in the middle, more like a bundt pan. It was so good. And I never got the recipe for it, so shame on me. All right, so this says bake 60 to 65 minutes. Let's get it out into the pan. Almost got it. To use a little finger action here. My hands are clean. All right. This is a very, very thick batter. And this is a 5x9 pan. Might be a little deeper than your average bread pan, but I like baking sweetbreads in this. I bought this at the Goodwill for probably 50 cents. Just because sometimes it's hard to get them done in the middle. So let me rinse this off. All right. So here we go into the oven for an hour, and I'll bring you back for a taste. All right, y'all. Some really, really nice applesauce raisin bread. Now, it may look a little overly done to you on the top, but it really isn't. It was not done on the inside. So I'm just gonna take a bite. Let's see. I like the crunchy corners. That's what it looks like on the inside. It's hot. Oh, wow. You can really taste the allspice. I have to tell you guys, it's not that sweet. It's good. Yeah, I really like it. It is more of a bread than a cake. The recipe was for a bread, but it's delicious. I will enjoy eating this. Excuse me for talking with my mouth full. So I told you all that I had an important question. My question is not, do you notice I'm out of breath? Y'all, I'm gonna have to be really careful. I may be developing some pneumonitis. I've had some real dropouts of my oxygen saturation, and I've had to use my oxygen this morning, and that's a rarity. So we'll see, and I've got to go out, so we'll see how it comes along. But at any rate, I want to start making soap again. Now, y'all, I have the ability to make liquid soap, like shower gels, that type thing. But my favorite thing to make is bar soap, and I do it with a lot of organic ingredients and like raw goat's milk, or I can do the vegan version. So I have a lot of really good recipes that are tried and true. My question to you is, would you rather see me do a fall scented soap and a fall colored soap, or would you rather see me go ahead and move on into winter? I don't do a lot of just straight up Christmas. I have a few things I do sometimes, but winter, you know, if you're going to give somebody a Christmas gift on Christmas, it's better to have a winter theme because we've got a few more months of winter here in Ohio at least. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and drop me that comment below. I am getting ready to head out and get some errands done. I need to drop some money in the bank, you know, all the normal things. And another, just a personal appointment for my financial manager. Not that I've got much to manage, just saying. But I see him twice a year. But at any rate, I will see you all very soon. We are going to continue to decorate. I'm trying to stay more in the vein of harvest. But guys, there's going to be some Halloween stuff, and if you don't like the Halloween, you can skip it. But there will be fall and just that autumnal look mixed in with it. So don't forget to smash that like button on your way out. And until I see you again, be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.